And right now, for the last 20 years, especially for the last 10 years, the coaching, mentoring, really is my passion. And I can say with my hand on my heart, I really enjoy it. Do I enjoy it as much as I did doing deals? No. Do I get as much satisfaction? Yes. So it's funny. I don't enjoy it as much as when I was, buying and selling companies left, right, and center, cutting and slashing like a fucking pirate boarding a fucking, a buccaneer cutting, That's more fun than sex. But do I have more satisfaction? Yes. Because I'm not trying to get too softy, artsy-fartsy on you, but I changed a lot more lives doing this. I made a handful of us rich and a few shareholders rich, but I've changed a lot more lives doing this. And so that's part of me getting older. I want to, part of my legacy. You can succeed as long as you've got the will and something you really believe in, that you have a passion for. Richard Branson, Howard Schultz of Starbucks, all these guys say the same thing. And they're all tough as nails. But they're not as tough as nails in their personal persona or their persona on TV or in the public domain. They are in the private domain. And the biggest fear of a lot of these guys is, at a board meeting or a senior executive meeting is because everybody's got an iPhone. Everybody's got this for it to be taped. And how many times have people been embarrassed in the last 2-3 years because they said something that they off the cuff that was supposed to be private? One of the great things is when Joe Biden told President Obama a couple years ago, "This is a big fucking deal," when he passed his health care deal. They talk like that, and you may not talk that way, but that doesn't mean other people don't talk that way. Do millennials swear?
All the time.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Do they use fuck, cunt, shit, all kinds of words?
Not everything. just saying we're not politically correct at all as long as we don't think we're being filmed.
Oh, okay. That makes me happy. We got some hope there. Yeah, we got some hope. I said this earlier. Roy Disney, Walt Disney's older brother, told me this many, many years ago. When values are clear, decisions are easy. When I get your weekly reports, and for those of you that are internet-based and you're having trouble and buying media and you're doing Google AdWords and doing all this stuff, and you're not Google changes the algorithms all the time, but that's so what? They've been changing the algorithms for many years. When the value is really super clear, the deals take off and then they're copied, unfortunately. But it's pretty simple. When value is clear, decisions are easy and the people will buy the shit. I'm not saying that it's all shit, but buy the stuff. And so it's for those of you that are internet-centric, it's your job to really put forth a clear value. So it's clear that everybody wants to get more than they paid for. Everybody, since I don't know when. They want to get more than they paid for. And so it's up to you to make those decisions for them clear. There's a big difference between playing not to lose and playing to win. And one of the things that George has developed is taking more risk, raising his risk profile, and putting more money on the line. And guess what? He's made a lot more money. It's a pretty simple formula. It's simple to say, isn't it, George? Oh, yeah. It ain't so simple to do in the beginning. Yeah, because the first time you roll out 20 grand or 50 grand and you take a hit, you choke. But as long as you're winning more than you're losing, you're making money. And depending on how much you roll out, it depends on how much money you make. And as I've told you, the internet, and when we talked about the 28 tips CEOs should be adopted by CEOs, the internet is a great marketplace. Unfortunately now, with the competition, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people competing on the internet. And sometimes, some days, you think they're all in your space. You think that there's nobody else, there's no other space but your space. Defeats are poison to some. Great men have become mediocre because of the inability to accept and abide by a defeat. If you should achieve any kind of success and develop superior qualities as a man, chances are it will be because of the manner in which you meet defeats that will come to you as they come to all men. As I said, it's not what happens to us in life, it's how we interpret. And I don't mean accept. How we interpret what happens to us in life that differentiates. And I say, and this sounds chauvinistic, the men from the boys and the women from the girls. But it's how we interpret. I told my kids growing up all the time, that happened, life's not fair. Kids say that quite, life's not fair. Well, it's fucking not fair. But how old do you have to be before you figure this out? It's just like we said a few slides ago. Bad things happen to good people all the time. Bad things happen to good companies all the time. And it's how you deal with it. And so it's how you interpret the facts. And the one thing that is really important and critical is to understand that you're not being singled out for this bad thing. Now, sometimes because you did something stupid, sometimes because you made a bad decision, sometimes you didn't heed the warning of, in some cases, for the next year, me, as your mentor. But it's to move on and not to remember self-pity. Remember we talked about self-pity? Human beings are the things on the face of the earth that feel sorry for themselves. Nobody else does. Nobody else does. And the truth of the matter is, other than your mother, nobody else cares. Moms have this innate thing. I want to call it a sickness, but that's not probably right, especially for YouTube. But it's got this innate thing that that they feel the pangs of defeat along with you, and that's why I never told my mother anything. She didn't know when I was up, down, sideways. All she knew is when she moved here, she was happy for me, and that she would tell some of her cousins, Dan, I'm going to move to Scotland and spend my last years here. But you guys, again, share doubts. And the problem is when you share successes with the family, it becomes a natural two-way conversation, street. And then you don't know when to stop, and so you share doubts. Or you share when some shit hits the fan. So generically, my advice is just tell everybody everything's not good, And I used to say, and I still do, every day is a good day, some days are just great. Or I used to say, every day is a great day, and some days are even better. And guess what? It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. There's those things I fucked up last year. Depending on the definition, even those days weren't bad. Even those days weren't bad. Now, the only real down days are bad, not down mentally. Down days I've had is when I've been in some of these serious accidents where I've had surgeries and, etc. But even then, that which does not kill me makes me stronger. And so the best way to predict the future is to create it yourself. And what QLA is all about, what all my free content on my site is, all the shit I give away on torrent is, and by the way, most of the torrent stuff I supply. We're the one that have the servers giving it away. Because some of you dipshits can't even put fucking shit on the server and give it away right. So we give it away. And I forget one of my IT guys, when did that come up that we started putting it up ourselves, EJ?
5-6 months ago?
Yeah, it dawned on me, or not dawned on me, I was told, because somebody complained, your free share on torrent's down. And so then I had EJ. And they still complain, your free shit on torrent's down. Gee whiz, I'm sorry. So here I want to be out of the customer service business, and they're still complaining because they can't get. So then I asked EJ, who's behind the camera there, And so we put it up ourselves. So we put it up ourselves, and it's not that big a deal, except we have to make sure that it's up. And but customer service is a bitch. I mean, even when you're not selling anything, they want to know. But and by the way, we announced the winners of the Ask the $50 Billion Man contest 2 weeks ago, more or less. One winner, and he's from Bulgaria, I think. Is that right, Kat?
Yes, sir.
He's from Bulgaria, and he'll be coming to the April seminar. And we had, instead of 4 second places, we had 8, because we had really 8 second place great questions. And so 8 people are going to be able to, in the next year, will be able to have lunch with me and spend an afternoon with me asking me questions. And so I travel a lot, so it shouldn't be hard for them to hook up with me. The guy that won the Castle seminar will have to get to, Bulgaria's not so far from Scotland, will have to get here on his own. And you know, and we're going to do it twice, we're planning to do it at least twice this year, once in June and once in December again. And I don't understand why, you got no risk, why these people, why we don't have a million questions. But people have so low self-esteem, they don't even enter. It's like entering the lottery for no money. When I first started this Ask the $50 Billion Man question thing, I thought we'd have a million questions. Because that's the mindset now. Oh, I'm never going to win. I get emails, oh, I'm never going to win. Can't you give 100 Castle seminars free away?
And the jackpot is bigger here.
Yeah, and the jackpot is bigger here. That's correct. That's a good observation, Robert. So we're going to give 2 away next year. And so for you guys that are watching, you know, I would say, you know, you got nothing to lose. Send in the question. And some of the questions are repetitive, and the podcast that we just put out, which is, do you have what it takes, and is this really for me, is in answer to, we get so many questions. Oh, you know, I'm a 21-year-old from Chile, or I'm a 19-year-old from Bosnia, or I'm 51-year-old from fucking Budapest. And is this, you know, is QLA really for... It's for everybody that wants to better their life. That's the bottom line. And wants to do it moral, ethical, legal, etc. It's the only game in town that's not illegal that you can build wealth starting with no money. That's the bottom line, you know. And whether you make 50,000 euros or 500,000 euros, or like the guy I described today, he made $435,000. That's a good thing for me to comment on. A guy got an email from a mentee, he made $435,000 on Friday. Right? Isn't that what I said, 435? Yep. $435,000 on Friday. This was a guy that was buying his children's clothes at Walmart. Now, I don't really know, like I said earlier, I don't know what that means. Doesn't sound like Savile Road to me, but at Walmart. Now, if that's not enough incentive, I don't know what the fuck is. $435,000. That, you know, that's well, even to me, I'll call it a $500,000. I'll round it up. $500,000, you know, ain't chopped liver. Now, of course, some of the big fucking hitters watching me on YouTube, you wouldn't even fucking take a piss for $500,000 maybe. You know? Big fucking hitters, you know? But anyway, oh, by the way, thanks, Brian, for the shout out on TED. Is that right, TED? Yep. TED. And I appreciate the support. Thank you very much. Good night.